Hey guys, welcome back to Books to Movies, and this week I bring you Atonement, which is a book and a movie about the price of jumping to conclusions with only a few puzzle pieces and no idea what the whole picture is. For the most part, the Atonement, the novel and no, Atonement the novel and Atonement the movie are the same, but with obviously a lot more depth and detail in the book, all of which comes as quite shocking once the twist ending comes at you. And this book is divided into four parts. Part one is told from a third party narration overseeing everyone. Bryony with her play, and all the cousins getting together for this big family reunion, and Robbie with his plans to go to medical school, courtesy of Bryony's father, as a benefit for his mother's many years of hard work and dedication as their maid. A little bit on Cecilia, and even a little bit on Emily, as she stresses over everything being perfect. Most importantly, there's the puzzle pieces that lead to the big ruination. The scandalous scene at the fountain, the love letter with that bad, dirty word, and the scandalous scene in the library, all used against Robbie in the attack on Lola, all known because Bryony was too nosy and too naive. Part two is told from Robbie's point of view, like a journal of his own observations and thoughts, as he's serving in the army in France during World War II, making his way through bombings and seeing death and decay all around him. And his thoughts are on his determination to get to Cecilia, and navigating his negative feelings about Bryony, going as far as to call it hate. He's also navigating similar negative feelings towards Emily for being just so quick to condemn based on that letter that Bryony found and stuck her nose in. We see all the horrors of the war all around Robbie in the movie. We see his determination to reunite with Cecilia. What we don't see is those internal negative feelings. We also don't see a scene from the book where his company get their hands on an enemy soldier and were seriously roughing him up. He was also a bit of a diminutive man, and this was definitely not a case of them picking on someone their own size. Part 3 is Bryony's point of view while serving in the Nightingale Nurses Corps, which is kind of like a cross between a convent and the special forces as nurses. And the movie does not water down all the gruesome war injuries detailed in the book. There are burn victims, soldiers with crudely stitched up deep wounds, soldiers missing most of their faces and even some of their heads, and Bryony's internal thoughts about the constant guilt she feels about how she determined and how she's determined to reach Cecilia and Robbie to try and make amends. She finds them, and she finds Lola on her wedding day to Paul Marshall, who was the true guilty party to the attack on her that Robbie paid for. And just like in the book, they still bear animosity towards her, even though she plans to write to the court to recant her testimony. Part 4 takes place in 1999, and is the only difference between book and movie. It is Bryony's 77th birthday, and instead of coming clean in a TV interview that Robbie and Cecilia died in the war before ever seeing each other again, and the entirety of Part 2 and most of 3 were what she wished happened, and that they reunited but just hated her. And her last book is published before her mind goes due to having vascular dementia. In the book, her confession is internalized. As she gets ready for her birthday party, she sees Lola and Paul on TV, who have reached London's celebrity status, and she thinks about calling him out before she dies, but doesn't, due to the chances of being sued by them for libel. And at her birthday party, her grandchildren put on the play that she had written at the time this story began. And that is all for Atonement. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to help me keep this channel going, you know the drill and you know my attitude of gratitude. And I will see you next book and movie.